It's Mooman.
Mooman?
This is not a dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Mooman. It is Mooman on the mic.
Yes, what is going on? It is your man's Mooman on the mic, back with another episode of the Initiative Podcast, where we get into everything celebrity news, world news, sociology, psychology, and WTF. Let's hit it. Okay, so check this out. My shout out for this episode goes to American Idol's Jamal Roberts, who fulfilled his promise to dedicate the entire $500,000 prize from his 2025 American Idol Championship winnings to his neighborhood, to his people, to his family. It is exciting. You see what I'm saying? And because you normally don't hear about that, you normally be like, oh, we're going to do this record deal, or I'm going to put all the money into a record deal, which is all good if that's your aspirations, dreams, your desire. But he decided to give it back to his people, give it back to his neighborhood. So shout out to Jamal Roberts. You know what I'm saying? He has two beautiful daughters. I seen the pictures. It is a very beautiful sight to see. Again, shout out to Jamal Roberts. Let's get into the headline hero. Okay, as you know, Headline Hero is Mental Health Awareness Month. And man, when I be looking at this news, I see so many mental health sensitivities that people are struggling with that they're not saying, but you can see in their actions, you can see in their words. And the most recent one is Papoose and Remy Ma. Okay, clearly the mental sensitivities between the years and the history they have known each other has reached a flashpoint. You see what I'm saying? And it definitely has reached a flashpoint. They've been going back and forth on the internet since last night. All right, really since yesterday, and it don't seem like they're slowing down anytime soon. Although Papoose, seeing as how you did take all day with the, you know what I'm saying, with the divorce papers, you might want to go ahead and just make sure she signed it, get this over with, so both of y'all can move on. My point is that I'm using both Remy Ma and Papoose as an example of mental health, even in relationships awareness. Y'all gotta make sure that y'all take care of each other in relationships. If you're gonna do a relationship with mental sensitivities and say that you are highly aware of certain mental sensitivities that you still gotta deal with, that you're working on, you have to, not only do you have to have patience with yourself, you have to have a level of courteousness to your partner, with your partner's choice choosing to deal with you if your partner knows about your mental health or your mental sensitivities. This is extremely important. You are not obligated, you see what I'm saying, to expect anything from that partner. If that partner loves you for you, chooses to rock with you, ride with you, whether it's business or otherwise, to the end, or has been for 10 plus years, whether it's marriage or relationship, keep this in mind. You see what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. The mental health is always going to be number one for me in any relationship or friendship. Let's get into the headline hunting. Okay, headline hunting. The East versus West rap battle of 2025 of the East and West was like a Northern Lights event. Okay, it came, it's fluorescent, it's shining, but it seems to be simmering down, or at least for right now, on the back of Kai Streaming University. Internet hubs of social media get some fire lyrics from legendary artists, soon to be everyone's top 10s, you know what I'm saying, as far as lyrical rap goes. Justin Hunt summed up all the main tracks of and offshoots from the rap battles between Joey Badass, Rayvon, Daylight, and many, many more. Okay, check out hotnewhiphop.com for the full entire list. It gets pretty crazy, and it is impressive how he went about putting all these songs together, which connects the dots, and you can see the West and East Coast simmering until the tensions just recently exploded, just a little bit. Now, whether or not the self-declared Candyman of rap will respond is still up in the air, but it is fascinating to see all the diss tracks land on a spreadsheet, okay, including high-profile releases from the likes of Daylight, Reason, CJ Fly, Nick Caution, AZ Chike, Mick Jenkins, Kai Cash, J1, and so many more. Listen, y'all gotta go check that spreadsheet out if y'all want to know what's at the bottom of this newly fizzled up, you know what I'm saying, West and East Coast rap battle of lyrics. Y'all gotta check those out because it is very something to see or something to hear. There definitely gonna be some new top 10s if you ain't already got them, especially for you new hip hop or new lyrical rap fans out there. Y'all in for a nice treat right there. We're moving on. Headline hunting. D1 mantra of hypocritical hop. You know, he recently got online and voiced his just displeasure of the rap beef that's currently going on that are calling out Kendrick Lamar to be a part of. And my personal opinion is shout out to D1. I love what he does. I'm behind him 1,000%. You see what I'm saying? And even if it's something of a small mission, you have to highlight the fact that rap beef between us black rappers is just not the way to make money. It's not even the way to move forward, not a way to move our people forward, not a way to move faith forward, not a way to move anybody forward. And D1 has been stressing this with just recently Skilla Baby being shot 8 times, okay? Once we know of grazed in the head, okay? So, there are these tensions out here by hitters in the shadows, by the powers that be. Certain relationships have been broken, are breaking, certain alliances no longer work, and D1 has been pointing this out. All right, guaranteed. I know a lot of people has been saying, D1, just calm down. It wasn't that big. It was a Northern Lights event. It wasn't a volcanic eruption. Nah. Instead, D1 is going to keep doing what he's supposed to do, and I love him for it. Let's move on. Headline hunting. Trump greenlights U.S. Steel and Nippon partnership. Okay, the 47th president cleared the path for Nippon Steel acquisition of U.S. Steel, announcing a planned partnership that will create 70,000 jobs, headquartered in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward into the quarter. Okay, Japan's Nippon aggressively sought to salvage 14.9 billion merger after former President Biden blocked it on national security grounds. Republicans revived it, and Republican Senator Dave McCormick argued the case pending a dramatically increased investment amount. All right, lotteries for the states will be held, I'm sure, for those who want to make bid on where the new U.S. steel plant backed by Japan is going to be built. But again, 70,000 jobs, ladies and gentlemen, that sounds like a deal to me. Anything that can make the economy of America stronger, I'm all here for. And we all know that America has 2 economies, right? The higher economy and the consumer economy, right? And so we got to make sure that we set ourselves up for those who are in the consumer economy, for those who are in the middle economy, and those who are in the higher economy. We all better prepare to set ourselves up for success on a personal portfolio level, because as we know, AI is spreading. It's being programmed. Multiple different AI sentient systems are being created and programmed. And then if you don't know how to code, and if you do not know how to create your own virtual private network, and so many different ways that can be created, because the consumer class is transforming. There's not going to be no slave consumer class moving forward into 2027, 8, 9, all the way to 30. I promise you this. Not a slave one anyway. Consumer relationships and consumer goods and consumer productions are starting to become even more personalized within the public and the community. We're becoming more producers than ever before, which is exciting. You see what I'm saying? Because we need to be more producers. We don't need to be any kind of consumer to the point where we're building an economy off it, or there's an economy that sits on top of that economy, trading your dollar out, just like the black people have been subjected to for decades upon decades upon decades, and generations upon generations upon generations. All of that is ceasing to exist very shortly, very soon. All right. And I promise you, when that happens, we're going to have to reassess and rediscuss an entire new socioeconomic strategy that we share amongst each other as AI pushes forward, and as coders, digital engineers become more adept. As myself, I am becoming more adept in coding, if I don't say so myself. You see what I'm saying? These are going to be the jobs that are going to be the most sought after by 2030. I promise you this. By 2030, everyone's going to have to switch their major who's in college right now, if you aren't already in college for the right things. You know what I'm saying? If you're not already set up for success, on any industry, and not to mention the trades industry, oh, you're going to have to pick up a trade too. Everyone's going to have to pick up a trade and pick up a data engineering certification. You're going to have to pick both of those up, and we're going to have to become very adept in both of those. I am already ahead of the curve, and I am teaching everybody with the new segment that I am dropping. All right, it's called Crypto Credence. That is the new name I have given it. At first, I was confused. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to call this new segment. And so I put out the flyer on my Facebook, and I'm like, boom. June 1st, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start these episodes where we are going over the nooks and crannies, the bolts and pins and nails and hammers. We're going through it all as far as how to become successful in utilizing crypto, transferring crypto, picking the right crypto, bidding on the right cryptos, increasing the prices when they need to be increased, learning how to use your stop loss and take profit, creating straddles, all of that. We're going to get into everything when it comes into the market of NFTs, especially NFTs and tokens, because NFTs and tokens, or NFT tokens and coins, they're not the same thing. They're vastly different. Again, I've said this on multiple different episodes. They're written with two different programs. Well, sometimes they're written by the same programs, but they're by two different scripts. You see what I'm saying? And scripts within GitHub, for anyone who's familiar with GitHub listening to this podcast, y'all know what I'm referring to. You can create spaces to code, to practice coding, and to troubleshoot error codes if you have gotten to that level already. All right, so that's what I'm saying. See, this is why I am doing an entire segment on this. All right, we're getting into the back of the headlines though, and the back of the headline is what I'm referring to right now. All right, you know what I mean, straight up, because here's the thing. Bitcoin has just reached, I think right now as of current, $110,000, right? Which is the highest it's ever been. The last time a jump like this occurred in the way that it occurred was when Bitcoin jumped from $1,000 to $20,000 in 2017. In 2017, 2016, 2018, most millionaires that are millionaires today came from that spike in the trade and in the markets. You see what I'm saying? Now, whether they're still millionaires now is yet to be, proven or yet to be seen. But for the ones who are still monopolizing on their winnings, who are still monopolizing on their bids and practicing good stock options, stock market, and just good choices, then you're off to the races. And that's what I want every one of us to be, off to the races with a wallet network, with a blockchain network, with a node network. You know what I mean? Now calling all engineers, hit me with the inbox, Mooman on the mic on all social media platforms. Now calling all data servers. You see what I'm saying? Now calling all node writers, all script writers. Hit me in the inbox. We're gonna get together and we're gonna really do this. We're gonna build the team. It's time to build the squad. You know what I'm saying? We build the network nation. All right, and that's how we're gonna do it moving forward. And if anybody is right now listening to the podcast, and if you're even more curious just beyond what I just said, if you're hearing me or if you're listening, then by all means inbox me and let me know where your knowledge is at on crypto, where your knowledge is at on how to deal with it. And I promise you I can give you a fill-in to the blanks that you may have, the gaps that you may have. You see what I'm saying? I promise you this. The thing about it is, I've read some more articles too online. How this one, I forgot where it came from, but this one research development center created it was like a fake landscape or a fake environment for the AI, or a fake situation between humans, like a human simulation that they put an AI program in, and then they threatened to turn off the AI within the artificial human environment system that they placed it in, and it tried to use blackmail to keep it from being shut off to the synthetic artificial humans within the artificial landscape that it was dropped in. And that right there to me scares me. Now, it may not scare most people, but it scares me, because it's like, wait a minute, if the AI already knows how to do that, then we got a whole nother situation on our hands. But as you know, this is your man's Mooman on the mic, and I will see y'all on the next episode.
I don't mean no disrespect, but no way. I can't listen to you, I do this my own way. This is not a game, no, I don't play. And you wasn't game before, so now it's no way. No, no.